I'll steal your mind. I'll steal your mind. Look at me. We'll never know. We'll never know. Perhaps greatest thief. Look at me now. It's all been used. It's all been done. It's all been done.
It's all been used, it's all been done.
It's all been done. All been done.
It's all been used.
Can I feel the bass? Thank you. Let's see what I can do. Can I feel the bass? Can I borrow your car? Wait. I'll steal your mind. I'll steal your mind. Look at me. We'll never know. We'll never know. Perhaps greatest thief.
milkshake, baby. Ooh wee, it had you drowning, if you know what I mean, and gagging. I don't care if you sagging, 'cause I'm the freaky type, the type you like, the freaky type,
Yo, yo, yo. Okay, so they did a new thing here where we can't hear ourselves in this room. So somebody on the chat room, let us know if we sound good.
Hi. Can you hear us? Let's
This is
assume
okay.
yes.
Francois says yes. He's just come back from a safari in Africa. Oh, word. Okay, as long as it's like tipping the head, we're good, right? Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Eli Escobar, and this is my second Radio Day show here at the Lot. I want to thank Babito Garcia, my first guest, and everyone. We got like such good feedback for the first episode.
Congrats.
And lots of listens and likes and stuff like that. So I'm pleased. And we're back today. And I have Nomi Ruiz here today.
Hola.
How's it going?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. We have lots to talk about and music to play. Everyone should know we are working on a full-length album right now.
So excited.
We're so excited. It doesn't have a name.
It has a few names.
It has a few names. Oh yeah, wait, it kind of does have a name, but we won't announce it now because it's not.
We have to like confirm.
Yeah, it's not written in
See
stone.
what it looks like.
Yeah, how you doing, Nomi?
I'm great.
What's
It's
going
a
on?
beautiful day. I'm happy this summer's arrived.
Yeah,
Really?
I mean it's a little bit brutal today, but
Really?
it's okay. Well, I don't know.
You're not like a sun boy.
No, I am kind of.
Oh, okay.
I'm not a humidity boy.
Ah.
Like, it's a little much, but I am a sun boy. I like it. In the dog park today. Everybody was sitting in the shade, and I was the one guy on the bench, like with the sun.
Yes.
Yeah, that's just
We
how
need the
I've always
sun.
been like
It's
that.
in our
yeah.
blood. We need
Yeah.
it. Keep us alive.
Yes. So, I wanted to sort of talk about like your history in music and stuff like that, because this is not. So for those who didn't listen to the last show, I had a radio show called Delancey Music Service that was on for a long time on a couple different stations. And it was more of a traditional mix show, and I'm kind of bored of that. Even just at 20 minutes right now, I was kind of like falling asleep. And I'm like,
Good to mix it up. We like to
I'm
hear
kidding.
your voice.
Yeah, and I just wanted to do something a little
Gossip.
bit different, a little bit more personable, and talk with people who I really respect and who I think have made awesome contributions to music and maybe particularly New York City's music scene. So that's what we're doing here. So anyway, let's talk about your life.
Okay. Where should we start?
Well, when did you? So like, you're from New York,
I'm from New York, from
Yeah.
Brooklyn, Sunset Park.
Sunset Park.
Born and raised.
Right. And what was that like growing up in Sunset Park?
That was, I would say, like passionate. It was a very passionate atmosphere. Like, could be violent at times.
Yeah.
Could be like really fun party vibes at times. But just very like loud.
Right.
And everyone was like kind of living their life
Right.
out loud.
Right.
Which was kind of cool and inspiring.
Yeah.
Especially music-wise. 'Cause I was like force-fed music from like blasting in car radios and stuff like that.
Yeah. I always tell my mom, like, one of my strongest memories is like every time we sat down to eat dinner, the sound of kids playing outside and like music and sirens was so much louder than like. And my mom's like really into classical music, so she'd be playing soft classical music at dinner. And it would just be like chaos outside. You know what I mean?
Till the nighttime.
Yeah,
Like,
definitely.
till late.
Definitely.
You're like, aren't
yeah.
you? Should you be home? You're like, I think that's like after children outdoor hours.
Yeah. Shout out to Kenny, because he'll like text me at like 1 a.m. and he'll be like, we just got back from this barbecue and Marlo, who is his 5-year-old son, is having a meltdown. And I'm like, yeah, because it's 1 in the morning.
I love it.
Kids are supposed to go to bed at like 8.
He's like, oh, word? I'll try that next time.
Yeah, exactly. So your earliest memories of music, like what did you like instantly fall in love with?
Well, definitely freestyle. That was something that was like everyone was blasting in the streets or like house parties. And I also felt like it's something everyone like can sing because it was like kind of off key.
Yes.
So everyone like right away feels like I can sing this.
Right.
So that was like my earliest like dance music, I guess.
Yeah.
My mom listened to a lot of like oldies and Willie Nelson, kind of like sad somber music. But that was my first like dance music that I had.
Yeah. And like I feel like for me, my mom and my dad were into like the Beatles and Stevie Wonder and Motown and Billie Holiday, but like 80s club music was the music that I was like, this is mine.
Right.
Like, you guys can't have this. They didn't care about it or understand it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's like
And
the first
for me-
separation.
Exactly. Definitely.
Yeah.
All right. Well, so Nomi had sent me a list of some songs that we could
A weird
play.
list.
It was a great list. I was like, okay, I have every song here, and
we have very similar influences, I feel like.
I think
We're
so.
always, like,
Yeah.
vibing on the
Yeah.
same tip.
I mean, we basically met about 10 years ago to do a song together, and Stretch Armstrong linked us up, and since then we've just basically made dance music.
Yeah.
But our influences are like way more broad, which is, I think for people who grew up, in our era or whatever, it's not that unusual. It's like everything was a little bit more mixed up. I think,
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. But yeah, so we actually, the funny thing, so I'm gonna play Silent Morning.
Yes.
Which is, kind of like
a staple.
It's a staple.
Like a freestyle intro.
Yeah, and what I love about Silent Morning as a freestyle song is that it also could kind of be like a Depeche Mode song.
Yes.
Like it has that darkness, and he actually can sing.
Yeah.
Right.
I never listened to like new wave or that kind of music when I was growing up.
Oh, yeah?
But then as I started getting into it, I'm like, oh, this is all like
Yeah.
kind of has the same. It's like related a bit.
Yes. Yeah, I went to a school for junior high that was like in Spanish Harlem, but it was a school that brought kids from all over the city to it.
Nice.
So all these kids from the West Village and Soho and stuff came up there, and they kind of I became friends with them, and their parents were like artists and whatever. It was when you could still live down there and like be an artist, and they put me up on a lot of stuff like alternative and that kind of music, and I loved it. So yeah, Silent Morning I feel like kind of fits in both genres a little bit.
Totally.
Like I feel like I've played it a lot with Depeche Mode. What the hell is this song called? I can't remember. The second single of Music for the Masses. And it totally
it's so
fits.
Emotional. It's
so
one of the more
emotional.
emotional freestyle songs. Where
It
you like
is.
feel it breaks your heart.
And in the video, he wears his jeans exactly how I wore my jeans. With like, remember you cuffed them, but then you did the fold first, and then you rolled it up to make them extra tight. Yeah.
You need that like angle.
Yeah, exactly.
Genius.
So anyway, where I was going with our first song is really funny because our first song that we did was called Desire, and I was going through my old laptop, my studio laptop, and I found the beat for Desire, and the first thing I ever did with that beat was put the acapella of Silent Morning over it.
Really?
So there's and
oh my god, I need that version. Do you have that?
Yeah, I do. It's called Silent Disco.
Oh my god.
So like the original, because a lot of times when I make a beat, I need to hear what it would sound like with someone singing on it. Like I need some kind of guide here to kind of sequence this music, and that was what I used, is the acapella of Silent Morning.
Sick.
And it sounds
That's why I was like, my ears were like, I can do this.
Right. All right, let's play Silent Morning. Okay. This is The Lot Radio. We will be right back. Boop. Okay, that was the freestyle portion of today's show.
Yes.
That song reminds me of Spring Dance.
Oh,
I
really?
think I want to say 1980. I'm not sure. It's either 88 or 89. Yeah, it does remind me of the Spring Dance.
I love that. It reminds me of like when in Sunset they used to throw these random parties at like gyms or like where they used to teach like kung fu.
Community centers?
Yes.
Yeah.
And they used to teach like karate, and then at night it was like
Yes.
reggae, dance hall, and freestyle.
Yeah.
And my cousin used to
awesome.
sneak me in all the time.
That's dope.
That was fun. Shout out to Naomi.
Community centers and buildings were major. The one in our building, we had the best Halloween parties.
Ooh.
But now our building got bought. It's not like for
Things
poor
have
people anymore.
changed.
Yeah.
Right.
So I don't even know what they do with that community center.
Full
It's probably a
opposite.
gym. So moving on.
To the next phase.
So when did you start like realizing you could sing or like wanting to sing and that kind of thing?
I think I was really young, and my mom really noticed first because I
Oh,
couldn't
yeah?
shut up, and I was just constantly singing.
Yeah.
And then she was always like showing me off to her friends, like sing, oh my God,
yeah,
do it again. And then as I got older, she actually encouraged me. She was like, this is something you're good at, like you should. And then it got in my head, and I was like,
great.
I want to do this.
Right.
And yeah, I was really young. I just started trying to figure it out. You know, like you don't know what to do.
You didn't ever like go to music school or anything like that, or
I tried and I never got in.
Oh, okay.
Like I tried to go to LaGuardia and I auditioned for all those schools and I didn't get into any of them. How dare you?
You know what? I'm gonna tell you a story, okay?
Yeah.
I had this girlfriend who was an amazing artist. Like she was just like above average, like way above average, like amazing. In like 6th grade, 7th grade, and she didn't get into LaGuardia for art, and this other kid I knew who could barely draw a stick figure got in.
So
and I don't mean to, like, I'm not gonna air his name out because he's my boy, but I remember we were all like, yo, how did he get in and not her? Like, it just didn't make any sense.
Like, is it a lottery?
No, I don't think.
Well, now we
I
know
don't
you can buy your way, right? Isn't that a thing now? You just like pay. You like
I
rich
don't know
parents
about,
are like,
yeah,
my
maybe,
kid.
I don't know about LaGuardia. I'm sure you can't do that there, but yeah, I remember feeling really shocked, and then it made me feel like, well, did I deserve to get in? Because I felt like she worked way harder on her portfolio than I did.
Yeah,
and
you
I
like
got
never
in.
know.
Yeah, you never know. Exactly.
Strange. There's so many kids trying to get in it.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't let it discourage you. Where are the cameras? Don't let it discourage you.
Also, I went to college for music and like learned how to like play jazz piano and all this stuff, and then I like got out of college and just sampled records for the rest of my life. So
you're like, well, these guys already did all that.
Exactly.
So I'm just gonna
and it sounds better.
Yeah. Done and done.
So from then, like what was going on in your career before Hercules and Love Affair? Like, just
I had was just recording demos for a long time, and I was like into this like R&B hip hop world. I was literally like sampling like rap songs, like instrumentals, and writing songs on top of them.
Oh, cool.
And that was like my style. And so I was like making an EP, and I was like going around CMJ and just like hustling and trying to figure it out.
Right.
And then I decided to like just do it myself. I think that's when everything kind of took a turning point. Like I actually was in this girl group that was like being put together like a pop group, like Pussycat Dolls or something, and I like hated it. But I learned so much, and then I was like, I'm gonna do this myself. And I started seeing like all these independent hip hop artists. That's when I got into like that underground indie hip hop scene.
Right.
And I was like, oh, if these guys can do it, like I can do it on myself.
I feel like I should just change the song I was gonna play now that you're talking about indie hip hop.
Fine.
I was like getting ready to play Janet Jackson, but it doesn't really make sense now. So that's another funny thing about us is that we both kind of were involved in that world for a little while and influenced by that. Like, we both found out that we knew Bill from Nonfiction, who I did a record with.
Right. I feel like there was like a morphing of like that kind of scene going into dance a bit.
I think some people. So for me, like, I started out as a kind of like just not regular, like hip hop, R&B, reggae, classics DJ. Like when that was just like a thing. Like I wasn't like I remember meeting people who'd be like, "Oh, I'm a drum and bass DJ," or "Oh, I'm a house DJ," and I'd be like, "One genre? That sounds so boring."
Good for you.
Yeah, but yeah. So at the time, and I was playing parties at school. You just had to play all the stuff everyone wanted to hear, which was mostly hip hop and reggae and stuff. And then I graduated from school and I came back to New York, and I started playing in the clubs in New York. And then also a little bit of like I would play the Lyricist Lounge. They booked me right away when I got home from school, and then at New York Poets Cafe and stuff. But I remember being like, but these people don't dance. Like,
see, that's why I love you when I like your parties, because you know you like aim. That's your goal. Like people need to dance.
Well, yeah. So that kind of made me lose interest in the underground hip hop thing, because like it was getting kind of like just guys standing around like nodding their heads.
Yeah, like literally with backpacks on.
Yeah, and when I was going clubbing in the early '90s to rap to clubs that played hip hop and stuff, it was like dance music.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So yeah, but okay, I'm gonna play. You picked Money Folder by Mad Villain.
Yes.
And did you like the Mad Villain album?
Oh my god, I was obsessed.
Yeah,
I was
so
such a
good.
dork. I was like, this is my dream come true. Like, I was like, what is this? But it was so cool. You just want to like smoke weed and like make out.
Yeah. And I think it's Doom's best body of work.
I mean,
like
yes.
the beats just really.
It was a great collab, like Mad Lib.
Yeah.
MF.
So and shout out to Doom, who when I was really young was really super cool to me. And I
did see some like tweets between you and Stretch about Doom at one point.
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah,
"Oh, what is
yeah.
this? Spill the tea!" Like, go in.
Yeah, when I just got out of school, he would come. I was working at a record store, and he would hang out every day. It was Babito's record store, and it was when he was just sort of getting back to making music, because he had disappeared for a little while.
Yeah,
I remember
the
like
elusive.
Yeah, he was and I remember like planning out. Actually, interesting side note. My friend and I promoted his first ever show as MF Doom at
Really?
At the New York Poets Cafe.
Stop.
Yes, we
oh
did.
My God, I love it.
And we didn't have he had a plan to make the mask.
Yeah.
But it wasn't ready yet. So I think he just performed with like a stocking
Amazing.
over his face. That's my vague memory of it.
Doom.
But I haven't seen him since the early 2000s, but he was a really cool,
I
super
wonder what
cool
he's
guy.
up to. I remember seeing Mad Lib in a record store, and I was like, I acted like it was like Michael Jackson or something. And my friend was like, "What's going on?" I'm like, "Girl, we have to go. I can't deal with this. Like, just walk out." He was like digging for records, and she's like,
Oh
"Who is
my
this
God.
guy?" I'm like, "You don't know?" Like no one knew. And I'm like, so starstruck. What a
All
dork.
right, so let's play Money Folder.
Money Folder, Mad Villain.
The Mad Villain album.
Took on many forms.
This is Radio Days on A Lot Radio.
Then he who was
Eli Escobar and Nomi Ruiz. Let's start it over.
the villain took on many forms.
Let he who is without sin cast the first stone. After you whose last is doom, he's the worst known. Boom. That'll have your boom blown or either thirst bone. Rockets won't burst clone, just don't curse the groan. On his own microphone, bring it everywhere he go. So he can bring it to you live in stereo. Panic, can't understand it, ban it. The underhanded ran it, planned it, and left him stranded. The best, any who profess will be remanded. Yes, sir, request permission to be candid. Granted, I don't think we can handle a style so rancid. He flipped it like Madden did the old jazz standard. Don't mind me, I wrote this rhyme lightly over 2 or 3 heinies. And boy was they fine, G. One black, one Spanish, one Chinese. It keeps the woody shiny around like a pine tree. Don't sign me, I'm about to get a mill without him. Crowd him off the shelf, he's the villain. And what about him? So, and he's a jerk and you don't know him. Mad how he expand work but won't show him. Poor guys, what a sight for old sore 4 eyes. Now hook me with 2 apple pies and a small fries. All rise, so far odd as a ruple. So raw, break it down and make quadruple. It's crucial, you can see it in his pupil. And this time when he get it, he'll waste it on something useful. Like getting juiced off a deuce of cokie. Keep it low key, known to pull a okie dokie. Silly goose, Doom is too jokey. Damn, he could really use a room or a whole key. Egads, he got enough styles to start 3 fads. True that, she bad, I wonder do she come with knee pads? What a call, what a real butterball. Either I get a strike or strike out, gutter ball. Rocket like gear for the 4 with nice inside pockets prepared for the brawl. Yeah, y'all, you could say it's an earful. Beware, do not touch mic, be careful. And just like he said, I could have told you. MF, the holder of a boulder, money folder.
My God, so they are killers.
This is another Nomi pick right here. Ghostface.
They just keep on killing and killing. They sort of That's right. They kill one man or kill 10. It's all the same. After all, they can only hang you once.
Both hands crusty, chillin' with my man Rusty, low down. Blew off the burner, kinda dusty. The world can't touch, ghost, purple tape. Ray co-host, Monty Hall Expo, intellect and rec pro. Son's trifling, fuck, wildflower on the cycling. Picked up the broom, thought I was Michaelin. West Brighton pool, now I'm into iron duels. Turn on the earth's whoopee, she out of law school. Inhale, great piece of hell, A life propel, parallel. Doris L. Nut, you flash the burn cell. Snap at the Candyland kids, the old rumor is blacks become immune to shit we never did, like eating dead birds. Trust the pharmacy over herbs, men marrying men ill. They got the herbs, post off, scissor hand, wig vanished in the winter, living off land. You got them right. I fuck fans, king me, checkmate. Props like the Michael Chip founder. Neck to neck stock with Bill Gates now. When we hug these mics, we get busy. Come and have a good time with G.O.D. Make you snap your fingers or wiggle. Scream, shout, laugh or just giggle. Shake that body, party that body. Don't fuck with ghosts, you feel sorry. That's word, I'm not the herb. Understand what I'm saying? Hit mics like Ted Koppel, rifle expert, let off the Eiffel. Burn a flag in your grass, spiteful. Ringleader, set it off. Rap Derek Jeter, culprit. Prince of the game, wish you can see us. We lay low, glitter wax, 4 bangles. Priceless roast, lay around the guard, get tangled, woolly hair. Eyes fiery red, feet made of brass. 12 man following me, it be the guard staff move. Every script like Miramax, smash the big boy, totaled it. Wilshire, Fairfax, sun beaming, wifey on the beach, sipping Zima, Woo Beanos. To Latinos, we lust to lean overnight. Guard schedules, FedEx, pretty silhouette, velvet nights, DNA scroll, genetics too hot to handle one thought from scrambling the mandolin. 100 game, Will Chamberlain, smack him, say when he rolling up, face wrinkled up, hands is on his nuts. Okay, stop fronting on the grounds before you get touched. It's Canada dry, that's with a lost son, we won't ride. We want it so bad, we might cry.
For every blow depends on breath control. So it's the first thing you must learn. Fortunately, it's easy. You'll soon learn.
My God, so they are killers.
This kind of reminds me of like a Blue Gems radio show. Just like totally all over the place.
Oh, this is a little
I
more
love
organized, maybe.
I mean, who cares?
Our boy.
All right, so I wanted to talk to you about like, so how did you meet Andrew Butler from Hercules and Love Affair, and how did that whole thing happen?
Well, we were friends before. I met him through Anoni. I was friends with Anoni since, when did we meet? She got my first record somehow, like a mutual friend of ours.
Okay.
And she was looking for models for a show at the Whitney Biennial.
Uh-huh.
And then we became friends, and she was friends with Andy, and then we all started like hanging out.
Oh, okay.
And then I remember.
And Andy lived in New York? For a
Andy
little
lived in
while,
New York,
right?
yeah.
Okay.
And I was still making hip hop, and
Mm-hmm.
I kind of got this one record I was working on that got dropped from this label. We were about to put it out, and it was just like I got really like lost at that time. I'm like, I was building up to this whole thing, and then I'm like so lost. And then Anoni was actually like, you should sing on this record. Like, here, this track would be great for you. And I was like, but I don't do dance music. Like, I don't know. It's like, but I was like, okay. Finally, I was open to like trying new things.
Right.
And then I did it. I sang it. Was like, You Belong.
Mm-hmm.
And at first, Anoni was singing it. And she's like, I don't like my voice on it. You should sing it.
Oh, okay.
And I sang You Belong.
So you didn't write it?
No, it was just like already.
It was already written. Who wrote it?
I believe Andy wrote it. Yeah.
Cool.
And
Did he write Blind?
I think he wrote it with Anoni.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right.
And then we started. I did that song, and then I did like Hercules theme. We just started collaborating a bit, and then it just like blew up.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my god, what is this?
Yeah.
It was kind of funny at first being like known as this like dance singer.
Right.
And my brother
And
would
so
make fun of
before
me.
Hercules and Love Affair, did you even like dance, like house music or disco?
I love like tribal house and like Latin house because I would
Right.
go out to the clubs like
Yeah,
dancing all the
yeah.
time like to oh my god I'm gonna totally like age myself Café con leche.
Uh-huh.
I was like there every Sunday.
Yeah,
Like,
okay.
and it was just like big club and like everyone was super hot, and that was when I started seeing like the houses like the Extravas and
okay.
the Mizrakis, and I'm like, what is going on here? What is this world? Like this
Right.
is like I felt so like it was so sexy, and the music was like
Yeah.
and I love to dance. Like dance was another thing that was like something I wanted to do.
Right.
So I was just like dancing all night in the clubs, and
Okay.
it was like Junior Vasquez and like Hex Hector, and like those beats were like
Yeah.
So that was the dance music I loved.
Okay. Yeah, which is different than the
Yeah, then there was like this
thing.
disco world, and I was like,
Right.
what's going? That's when I started seeing all these DJs that were like playing disco, and I'm like, all these straight boys are like playing disco in clubs. Like, what? I was so confused. I'm like, what is happening? This is not real. But yeah, that was how.
So and then the album blew up, and you guys went on like big tours and
Yeah,
stuff.
the album blew up, and they were like, "Do you want to tour?" And we toured like nonstop for like a year.
Right.
And it was just like a lot. It was
and there's like
so-
YouTube videos of you guys playing for like huge crowds.
Yeah, huge.
Yeah.
We played Glastonbury. We played
Man.
I don't know, like Love Festival. We played like all these festivals in Europe. Like we lived on a bus, and it would just like wake up and it'd be parked in some like grassy, like hilly place. And I'm like, where are we? And we would just like play these huge shows.
Did you like living on a bus?
I did. There were parts of it I loved, but then it's like when it's like it was so many people.
Yeah.
And we lived on a bus
I
together.
know, we did. I know. I was going somewhere. But wait, so it was all those people who were in the Hercules band on one bus?
Yes.
Oh, that's crazy.
And the like crew and the like
wow.
manager and
Oh,
like
man.
the driver. Like it was just, I mean, it was really fun. It was like what I had always wanted to do.
Yeah.
Like I
yeah,
quit
yeah.
my job. I like
Right.
left my apartment. I like
Yeah.
dumped my boyfriend. I was like, this is my moment.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
this is it. I worked my whole life for this.
Yeah.
And it was dope. We did it.
Yeah.
We killed it.
I told you on your podcast, when I was on your podcast, that so Nomi and I also went on a month-long tour on a bus, and I literally only did it because I wanted to live my almost famous dream. Like I remember the money that Holy Ghost offered me. I was like,
Yeah.
I could buy like, a Big Mac and a soda.
Yeah, I don't think
I don't know
any
like-
of us did it for like the money.
No,
We were like,
and
let's-
and like.
but you being there really made me also do it too. Because I remember being like,
Yeah.
but Ellie's coming. Okay, cool. And we like got our bed like across from each other. We made sure like we could like gossip about everyone.
Totally. And it was I would never do it again, but I'm really glad that I can say that I went on a tour like that, like in America.
That was so fun.
Yeah, it was really fun.
And that's when we were like did like Somebody to Love. I guess that you were playing that remix.
Yeah. So we did Somebody to Love Me. Somebody to Love Me or Somebody to Love?
Somebody love me.
Whatever.
Somebody love me. Yeah.
Yeah. We did that song because I heard you do it live with your
right. We
with
were
your
doing. We
band.
were covering it.
Yeah. So this was after Hercules and Love Affair, and you kind of split off with a couple of the members of the band.
Yeah.
To start Jessica 6, and we went on tour, and we had just come out with Desire just a little bit before that, I guess, and then I had done a remix for Somebody to Love Me, and I didn't even get commissioned for it. I just begged Mark Ronson to let me do it because I was jealous that he got to work with Boy George.
Give me that acapella.
I was like, just give me the
it to
acapella, and then I made it, and I emailed it to him, and he never replied. And when you email a remix or a track to someone and they don't reply, that means they don't like it. This is
That's it.
Yes, I have learned this. Like,
You're like, you can make up any excuse you want.
and I don't care. Like, I like hearing criticism. Like, I don't mind if somebody says, yeah, it's not really for me, or I don't know, can you change this or that? But just not replying is so weird to me. But it gets the message across. Oh, like
no message is
I
a
feel
message.
like whenever I send you stuff, like you let me know exactly how you feel. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And it's a way healthier way of communicating, guys. All right.
That's true.
So
Replied.
so yeah, so he never responded, and then I was like, well, I've got the beat, and I was playing the remix out, and Gems would play it all the time at LeBain,
so
and it would
good.
go off. So then when I heard you guys doing it, I was like, let's just remake it, and then it was a pretty
Everyone
successful
loves that song.
record, yeah. So
So
thanks,
good.
Mark, for rejecting my remix.
Yeah, because you inspired us to work together.
Exactly.
I will always replace the vocals rejected by Boy George.
Okay, so let's go to If Madonna Calls, which is kind of
Yes.
since we were talking about like Junior Vasquez.
Yeah, I remember that came out and it was just
Yeah.
like it was that time when I was like clubbing. Like
Yeah.
there was a time
Yeah,
when
yeah,
I was
yeah.
like I can't do that anymore. But I would like go out maybe twice a
know.
week. I would be out
Yeah.
planning my outfit, like new boyfriend every week, like meeting. We just went at the club. We were in love. We broke up. The next weekend was like drama at the club. It was like a whole like love and hip hop,
Oh, so good.
love and house music. We used to make our own reality show every Sunday. Up at
Our
the
next
club.
album is gonna be called Love and House Music, and it's gonna be all tribal,
Ooh, I like this.
tribal house anthems.
Yes, right.
And Hex Hector will DJ the album release party.
Yes. Oh my God. That's
All right, here we go. This is If Madonna Calls.
Ooh.
This is Madonna. 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 This is Madonna.
Madonna called, I'm not here. Madonna called, if Madonna called, if Madonna called, if Madonna called, I'm not here. Madonna called, if Madonna called, if Madonna called, if Madonna called, tell her I'm not here. I'm not here. I'm not here. I'm not here.
Hello, Junior. This is Madonna. 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 Are you there? Call me in Miami. This is Madonna. 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 This is Madonna.
Disconnector, 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 disconnector. Junior, shine the spotlight on me. 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 This is not Factoria. This is not Factoria. This is not Factoria. This is not Factoria. I am not Lord G. This is not Factoria. This is not Factoria. This is not Factoria. This is not Factoria. I am not Lord G. Watch me some boys from El Barrio and I'll be set. Hola, señorita Cosa. 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 Hola, señorita Cosa.
señorita cosa. Hola, señorita cosa. Listen, watch me some boys from El Barrio and I'll be set. 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 I'll be set.
Like a tea, feeling like a lily, feeling like a rose, feeling like an orchid. Tea, 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 tea,
I've never heard this song so early in the day.
like a daisy.
I don't think anybody out there is liking really.
I think I'm gonna come tomorrow for that party.
This is The Lot Radio, and this is Eli Escobar. I'm here with Nomi Ruiz. Okay, we got like another hour. We're gonna let this song play. It's another Nomi Ruiz pick. Sorry, your mic wasn't on for a minute. This is Masters at Work, but actually, I guess it's not Masters at Work. It's India, but it was produced by Masters at Work.
Is it not a it's not a remix? It's like an original.
No, this is the original.
They got her to sing on it.
Yeah. But it is an India EP actually, because I can picture it as maroon and she's on the cover.
And there's more than one song?
No, it's just like 5 million remixes. And I play them all. It's like one remix that's just drums, one's that's just drums in her voice, one that's like
extended.
Yeah,
like
it's just
howling.
like exactly. Yeah, I play that one a lot actually.
This was like actually the vocal inspiration for the intro to Fun Girl.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Cool. I would have never put that together. Okay. And that ends the tribal section. We're touching on everything today, guys.
A little journey.
That song is like okay, there's a couple of songs where if I'm DJing and that song comes on, that means that I've officially gotten past a certain, yes. It's like I've become engaged.
There are no more drink tickets.
No, but not even on that, just that I'm into it.
Yeah.
And I've gotten past that point of being on the road is always kind of hard because you only get 2 hours but it takes me an hour to even figure out what kind of mood I'm in.
Right.
And then it's also what kind of mood is the crowd in. It's so many things to think about. And then by the time I got it, the next DJ is there with their USB hi. And I'm like,
you're like, just played La India. This is the middle point.
Good thing I flew 7 hours for that. Not to sound ungrateful because I love it. But no, I'm just so. But that is one of those songs. There's a couple of songs where if you hear it come in,
when do you get to play longer than 2 hours? Wednesday, you have a party
in New York City.
Is that you play long there, right?
Yeah,
that's dope.
Yeah, all my parties here, and I definitely if I play at Black Flamingo or House of Yes, they usually give me the whole night.
Nice.
And then I have my own Wednesday with DJ MoMA. So yeah, and then me and my agents and stuff, we try to negotiate long sets on the road. It's just really hard. They don't go for it. I don't know.
Because they're gonna pack in a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like when bands used to play in New York downtown, and they used to book 12 bands in one thing.
Yes,
and it's
exactly.
Wait.
I think that's exactly how it is, especially because people are looking at DJs more as performers now.
Yeah.
Festivals and blah blah blah. So anyway, I talk about this all the time, and it's so boring. I'm always talking about
this. But it's important in
shit.
DJ culture. I think
it's important
that's really
to me, and I can passionately go on for hours. But I feel like people who know me or who've heard me on the radio are like, okay, Ellie, we know. Or follow me on Twitter.
I love your Twitter. You have a really low-key shady Twitter. It's very sarcastic, where it's I get it. And if someone else read it, they would be like, oh, that's interesting. I'm like, he's throwing shade. Doesn't really mean that.
So I was looking at your song list, and you picked this Curtis Mayfield song.
Oh, I love
and
this
I
song.
forgot about it. And I was like, oh, and I went through I have the 12-inch. So I woke up this morning and found it and put it on, and it's so good.
Such a good start to day, too. Vibe.
Yeah. Did you discover this song later during the Hercules and Love Affair thing when you got familiar with more the disco side of the world? Or?
Even way after that. I don't know. I think I was at my friend's house and he put on a track.
Oh, okay.
We were in his he was this artist who, I don't know, we were just in his house and this song came on and I was like, what? And it just I automatically, all my senses.
Yeah.
I wanted to cry. I wanted to dance. I wanted to have a cocktail. I wanted to everything. And I was like, this is such a beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah.
Romantic, but just it makes you move. You know?
And I kind of had that experience this morning because when I saw it on the list, I was like, I know that song, and I put it on, and I was like, oh, because
and the chord changes, all those chord changes
so
that keep
warm.
happening, it's oof.
And when you haven't heard a song in years and years, and it kind of catches you by surprise, and all the feeling comes back, you know. I was actually really obsessed with Curtis Mayfield for a little bit. Amazing. I go through phases where I'm all about one artist.
Yeah.
And I was really heavily into Curtis Mayfield. I recommend everyone out there, if you're not familiar with his 70s catalog, dive in because it is the best. Okay, so this is Curtis Mayfield, Love Me Now, and this is his disco song.
You need to do an edit of this or something.
Okay, let's do it.
just one-on-one, having fun till night is gone. You say I'm the man that made your love begin. Ooh, tell me when we start again. I took for granted love, you see. You made the love tender to me. Love me now. Dancing in a world, I had to check you out. Your love somehow just blew me out. All up in you, darling, like a fantasy. Ooh, come dance with me. Come dance with me. Do you all give myself away? Make the time and call today. Love me now. Dancing with a girl, she make an appetite like apple pie. Her body's right. People everywhere, they seem to be amazed. Ooh, your sexy grace, your tender face, close and call a different kind. The loving ways we seem to find. Love me now. Love me, baby. Love me, baby. I took for granted love, you see. You made the love tender to me. Love me now. Do you I give myself away? Make the time and call the day. Love me now. Love me. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Baby, so in love with you. Love me now. Love me, baby. Love me, baby. Love me, baby. Love me, baby. Come dance with me. 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 Love me, baby. Love me, baby. Love me, baby. Love me, baby. When love begins, you need your man. Just tell me when.
Okay, this is the La Radio, and this is Eli Escobar. This is my new show, Radio Days, the second installment. Nomi Ruiz is here.
Hello, hello.
So, and we're playing a new song of ours in the background because we made an album. And I want to thank you on the air for helping me make like the album of my dreams.
Aww.
Because I was getting so bored with like what I was doing and like house music kind of, and just it was so fun to do something totally different and like write songs, like actual songs. I know you do that, but that's not always what I'm doing.
No, but it's I mean, we've been wanting to do this for so long. We've been talking about it forever.
Exactly. We have.
We finally just buckled down and like did it.
So, and the album is like very diverse stylistically. I feel like there's like, it's cool working with Nomi because I could be like, all right, let's make a song like Rain by Madonna. And she'll know exactly what I'm talking about. So like I got to make like ballads and slow stuff and like R&B and like freestyle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then some like club bangers.
And some club bangers. Yeah, don't worry, there's some club bangers.
Because it goes like even a little bit like that one like he does is a little like dark,
like I don't even know what that
heavy.
is. It's like, it's kind of like almost inspired by some of the music in England, like two-step kind of stuff.
And that's how I love making records. Like it has to be eclectic.
Yeah.
I feel like everyone has eclectic style.
Right.
You don't just listen to one genre.
Right.
Like,
right.
I mean,
yeah. And to make a full-length album, I feel like, you know, you want it to touch on all sorts of different emotions and So yeah, we have an album, and the single is coming out soon.
Yes.
And this is the dub playing in the background. If you can name, there's basically 3 different songs that I ripped off for the instrumental.
Wait,
after I
do not edit. Edit. How do we rewind?
No, it's fine because I didn't sample anything.
Okay,
but
no
if you can
sample.
name all 3 of them, you won't win anything, but I'll just know that you can name them.
A Day with Ellie at Le Bon. You'll be on the guest list.
One of the songs is super obvious. The second one is sort of obvious, and the third one, if you get it, I'd be pretty surprised. So should we play Dance for Love?
Yeah, Dance for Love 99.
Dance for Love 99. Yeah, and we'll come back and talk about the album more.
Okay, cool.
All right.
Into that moonlight.
And now the moment you've all been waiting for. We are going to talk about Stevie Nicks.
Yes.
When did you fall in love with Stevie Nicks, Nomi?
Oh my God, good question.
I don't know if you're in love with her. I think you are.
No, I'm obsessed. She's everything. She's like she's my spirit animal. She's like I just want to be her. Like live on a mountaintop with like fringe everywhere and just like writing songs.
Mad candles.
Yeah.
Beautiful grand pianos in every room.
Totally.
Yeah, lots of velvet.
Lots of velvet. Lots of fake flowers.
Yeah. Raspy voice.
Oh my God, totally.
Lots of
and
stories.
Like stories.
Okay, do you know the Tom Petty song "Don't Come Around Here No More"?
Yes.
Okay, there's this. So when Tom Petty wrote, okay, I can't remember if it's Tom Petty. No, okay, this is the story. The keyboard player the Eurythmics is just Annie Lennox and Dave Stewart. Dave Stewart was the guy who did all the music. He produced "Don't Come Around" and wrote "Don't Come Around Here No More" for Tom Petty. The story is he had sex with Stevie in like her mansion. The guy from the Eurythmics. Because
she was with Tom Petty too.
No, they just had like a musical. I don't think they. Well, I don't know. But they basically had. So the Dave Stewart from Eurythmics had a night with Stevie in her house.
Of course.
And in the morning, like woke up and was like, "So what's going on?" And she was like, I think she literally said to him, "Don't come around here no more." And
This is why.
And he left and wrote that song for Tom Petty. And
I'm obsessed.
I love that song.
There was all that like her with Jimmy Iovine because she was with Jimmy Iovine.
Yeah, she was in a real relationship.
Right, and there was something about he was working with Tom Petty and he had to hide her, right?
Yeah.
And she was like listening to them make the record. And I'm like, why was she hiding? And then they took one of the songs that was for him for her. I love her.
They basically were making an album and Stop Dragging My Heart Around. They were like, it's not good. And Jimmy was like, can I have it for Stevie? And they were like, okay, sure. And then they did it, and it became a huge hit. Yeah. And Tom Petty's album didn't do well, and he was like bitter about it or something like that. But you should have kept the song.
This
Tom.
is why we love her. She just timing.
Yeah. I became obsessed with Stevie Nicks. The year was probably 1994. When I would obsessively watch Fast Times at Ridgemont High over and over again. I had it on videotape. I was like super into 80s teen movies. Yeah, so I used to watch it all the time. And then there's this scene where Jennifer Jason Leigh's character goes to have an abortion. And faintly in the background, they're playing this Stevie Nicks song called Sleeping Angel that never came out on an album. And I was like, oh my God, I need this song. And
was it on the soundtrack?
Yeah, but it was kind of hard to find a soundtrack at that time. But I found it in a secondhand store after a little while, and it just like put me on this path to being totally obsessed with her. I have like thousands of unreleased demos and bootlegs, and like just I was all about it.
She's everything.
Yeah,
that's the kind of artist I love. Who, like, writes about their truth and like lives it too.
Yeah.
She's like she's in it.
So I saw Fleetwood Mac in concert like a couple years ago when they were all back together, and like her and Lindsey Buckingham did Landslide. And like you could feel the tension in the air. Like
that's also.
She was like looking right at him, like, "Come on, feel this," and he was like kind of looking away.
He's
like,
I am married.
Yeah. He's like, "Stop putting me through this every night." Oh my God, it's been 40
really
years.
Familiar. / the tour we went on.
I feel like she just never stops. Like every time they sing those songs,
they're still going through drama. Like now, right?
Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah.
I mean, but they still maintained it too. That's why I was like, there's something I'm missing. I can't maintain it. I like destroy lives and they're just destroyed. I'm like, if she gets them back together and then does it again.
It's amazing. I know. Okay, so I'm gonna play something I like. I'm always scouring the internet for parts like original sessions or whatever from like songs. So I made one for a special remix of Rhiannon. I know you picked Wild Heart.
Maybe but I want to hear your.
Okay, but we'll play Wild Heart after we play.
Because you did. Can I say that you have all those tracks? No, I can't.
What, the Fleetwood Mac ones?
Yeah, because you're like.
Yeah, no, it's fine. So, I'm not like selling them or making money off of them, but yeah, I have built up quite a collection of my own personal mixes of Fleetwood Mac songs.
That's a release. Yeah. That needs to happen.
Okay, here's my remix of Rhiannon.
Yes.
Rhiannon rings like a bell through the night, and wouldn't she love to love her? Takes to the sky like a bird in flight, and who will be her lover? Well, your life you've never seen a woman taken by the wind. Would you stay if she promised you heaven? Will you ever win? She is like a cat in the dark, and then she is the darkness. She rules her life like a fine skylark, and when the sky is starless. Well, your life you've never seen a woman taken by the wind. Would you stay if she promised you heaven? Will you ever win? Will you ever win? She rings like a bell through the night, and wouldn't she love to love her? She rules her life like a bird in flight. Who will be her lover? Well, your life you've never seen a woman taken by the wind. Would you stay if she promised you heaven? Will you ever win? Will you ever win? Taken by the sky. Taken by the sky. Taken by the sky. Dreams unwind, love's a state of mind. Her dreams unwind, her love's a state of mind. Her dreams unwind, love's a state of mind. Her dreams unwind, her love's a state of mind. Her dreams unwind, her love's a state of mind.
Yes. Okay.
Goosebumps.
Wow. All right. I'm making this the most all over the place radio show I've ever done, and I'm
Love it.
really happy about it. And now I'm gonna play. You picked another song that I have a really special place in my heart for, which is "Faith You Used to Love Me." There's a couple reasons why I love this song, but the beat. I know that's not maybe not the first thing you think of.
So
Yo, the
good.
beat is crazy.
She's
and
really.
her
I learned how to
harmonies, right?
harmonize
Yeah,
by
totally.
analyzing Faith Evans' harmony.
Yes. Her she had the best harmonizing instincts. Is that
yeah,
right?
she was so
And with
great.
a little
Even
bit of a
Whitney Houston
unique
said it.
style,
Like they
right?
worked together. I remember her in an interview was like, just listen to her harmonies and you'll know what's
Who
special
worked
about
with her?
Faith.
Sorry.
Whitney Houston.
Oh, really? Like
I think
before
it was
she-
the what was that movie that
Yeah.
that they were doing a big soundtrack for?
Yeah.
Was it the one where they set the car on fire?
Yeah. Oh my God, it's a great soundtrack. but I can't remember what it's
Mary
called.
J. Blige is on it, I think, too.
And the soundtrack, the CD is like brown and red.
Yes.
Anyway.
It'll come to us.
Yeah, it'll come to us. Does it have? So anyway, but when this song came out, that was like, for me, I was in college, and it was like the Mary J. Blige album from the year before was like a game changer. The My Life album. And
Faith was on that album
and
too.
she,
I think
yeah,
like
she
doing
is.
background.
Yeah, I think she helped
They
arrange
did a duet.
Arrange vocals and stuff
They did.
on that album.
And then she got deleted.
And then and then
more drama. I love it.
Yeah, and then and I'm almost sure, if somebody wants to correct me, I think the producer who did this is called Chucky Thompson, and he was a beast.
Those drums.
Yeah,
and
the
bass
drums.
just like
the guitar is like offbeat.
It's so good,
it's
like
so
lazy
good.
loose.
And
Swing.
I used to love playing this at parties, like kind of like late at night, towards the end when people. Yeah, it's the best. All right, so this is Faith Evans. You Used to Love Me.
Yes.
This is how we do. This is how we do. Smith and Wesson don't play. This is how we do. This is how we do. Every day, all day. This is how we do. Click, click, click in the night. I shine,
You shine,
shine,
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 I shine.
you shine.
In this day and time,
We maintain
the same
frame of mind.
elevation.
Spark it up.
Yo, start the circulation.
360 degrees in rotation.
Stimulation as the herb bless my physical creation. Slip into a hallucination.
Situations
Got me thinking about my life seriously. Keep it real continuously.
before I slip into blackness, I prepare for combat. Protect my dome, cause that's where my home's at. Crack my windows, inhale as the mist flows. Build up my mental, construct on my fist.
Spreading love to my Brooklyn crew.
Who be you?
Bad boys.
Smith and Wesson coming through.
Tech and stiff. Traveling through the battling, handling all that's challenging to the very end. This is how we do. This is how we do. Every day, all day. This is how we do. This is how we do. Smith and Wesson don't play. This is how we do. This is how we do when we get down with Mary J. This is how we do when we break day. Click, click, click.
Those pretty memories, I know you can hear me now. For the record, I love you, I love you. Those pretty memories, I know you can hear me now. For the record, I love you, I love you. When I found out that you were leaving me, I couldn't sleep thinking about all the things that we've been through. Now all I want to do is tell you that I miss you so much. You know I really, really miss you. Those pretty memories, I know you can hear me now. For the record, I love you. Those pretty memories, I know you can hear me now. For the record, I love you. Now that I'm on my own, I know that in time I'll find somebody new who'll treat me better than you. So I go on alone without you, but I still love you. You know I'll never live without you. Those pretty memories, I know you can hear me now. For the record, I love you. Those pretty memories, I know you can hear me now. For the record, I love you. I wish you'd change your ways soon enough, so we can be together. You just don't understand good love. But now all we have is memories. Those pretty memories, I know you can hear of the way we used to be. All those pretty memories, I know you can hear me now. For the record, I love you.
Okay, we gotta get out of here.
Boom. That was so fun.
That was so fun. Thank you, Nomi.
Thank you.
So everybody listening, this is Radio Days on the Lot. I don't have like a schedule yet, but I'll let you know next time the show's on. And also look out for our song Dance for Love 99.
Yes,
99 or
this
99?
summer.
99.
I guess 99,
Yeah.
right? 99.
Yeah,
like a
it's
year.
coming out this summer, and then the album will be coming out shortly after, and we're really proud and excited about the album.
Can't wait to share it.
Yeah.
And perform it. We're gonna have a party somewhere.
Yes, we will. At least one
keep
party.
Up. We'll have. I'll keep it going. I'll keep the party going.
So we're gonna close off with another song you picked, which is one of my absolute favorite songs by Brandy.
Oh.
Okay, and I play this all the time still.
Which one is this?
Full Moon.
Full Moon.
Yeah.
It's so good.
I think it's produced by Dark Child.
Hells yeah.
Right? Yeah. Okay. So thanks for tuning in, everybody.
Ciao, y'all.
Bye.
Till next time.
You soon as you came bouncing through the door. You and your mans and them just took over the floor. Started doing your thing, and it made me notice you even more. The way you turned around and looked at me, it seemed as though you must have somehow felt me staring on the low. Something tells me you're the kind of guy I'd like to get to know. I ain't even gonna front, I ain't even gonna lie. Since you walked up in the club, I've been giving you the eye. We can dance if you want, get it crackin' if you like. Must be a full moon, feel like one of those nights. Is this the first time that I'm seeing you around? Could you be visiting or are you new in town? Yeah, whatever the case, I'm feeling you right here and right now.